Today, we're going to check out the Canon R7 with the EF-S 10-18 lens, see if it's any good for video and vlogging. Let's go. What's up everybody? Phil with Photo Gear Fun here today with a look at the Canon R7, which I just got with the EF-S 10-18 lens. Could be a good combination for family video, for vlogging, just for video in general. It's a fairly inexpensive lens. You will need an adapter to go from EF-S to R. This is an RF mount. But what I'm going to do is show you a few different types of video. I'll show you with no stabilization, with IBIS on, and right now IBIS is on. And then also I'll show you with IBIS and digital stabilization. So I'll do a little bit of walking, looking at my face, simulating a vlog, and then we'll just do some general video. We'll check out the IBIS, see if there's any IBIS stuttering as we go through and do some panning. And then we'll wrap up this look at the Canon R7 with the EF-S 10-18 lens. Alright, so here we are at 10mm. I'm in aperture priority. Maximum aperture for this is f4.5, so you're not going to get a lot of background blur, plus it's wide angle. But we are at 10mm with no stabilization, so I turned the switch on the lens off and disable that. I'm just in aperture priority, auto ISO, letting the camera manage the exposure. You'll see I'm going into shadows. But this is a fairly uneven trail, so what I'll do now is I'll just turn the camera around and walk and shoot some video, and we'll see how that looks. Okay, so this is just walking. We're at 10mm. Again, f4.5. We're going to do some zooming, and I'll show you the range here, but this is what you can expect with no stabilization. Let's just go ahead and take a look at the beautiful fountain. So here we are at 10mm, and it does show you on the camera, which is nice, your focal range. So that's 18, and that's 10. So this is a 1.6 crop, so the wide end is equivalent to 16mm. So that is with no stabilization. Next I'm going to turn stabilization on, so the lens stabilization and the IBIS, and then after that we'll do the enhanced stabilization electronic. Okay, so this is with IBIS, lens stabilization and IBIS. They go together, you can't turn one or the other off. They're either both on or both off. This is with firmware 1.1, by the way, so they fixed recently the kind of issues with wide angle lenses with the corners going kind of wacky, so pay attention to the corners. I did some testing, it looks pretty good, but this is, again, we're at 10mm with IBIS and the lens stabilization on. So again, I'll turn it around, we'll walk, and then we can get a little sample with the electronic stabilization as well as IBIS and see how that looks. So let's go ahead and turn this around and just do walk and regular video, maybe do some panning. What I'm going to do now is just do some panning and see if there's any craziness with the IBIS. I'll try to do it slowly. Sometimes the IBIS tries to kind of catch up if you pan too quickly. So I'm just going to do a slow pan and we'll see if we notice anything with the IBIS. And we'll do the same. So that's 10mm. We'll do the same at 18. And at 18mm we're at f5.6. So it's a 4.5 to 5.6 lens. And there goes a hawk. I'm going to get my 100 to 400 out later and see if I can get some bird photos with this R7. Might be a video coming on that. But there you go, there's your idea of panning. I'll pan a little quicker and let's see. I wouldn't normally do this, but let's just see if there's any craziness with the IBIS. Alright, up next I will turn on the digital stabilization. We'll see how that looks. Okay, and you can probably tell the bit of difference in framing here. The electronic does crop in. So there are two settings for electronic, just on and enhanced. This is on, and we'll also do enhanced, just a little walk and talk with enhanced. So the stabilization should be almost as good as it gets, but in theory not the best. We'll turn enhanced on after this. We'll see how that looks. This is at 10mm, so same focal length, but tighter, I believe, than the clip without digital stabilization. So let's go ahead and turn the enhanced digital stabilization on and see how that looks. Alright, sorry about the lighting again. I like this because it's an uneven path, and so that I'm stepping on different things here to give you an idea on how the stabilization works. So this looks like an even tighter crop with enhanced stabilization on. This is what you can expect. We're at 10 millimeters, so all these clips have been at 10 millimeters, which is a full frame equivalent of 16 millimeters. We'll go ahead and do just a pan with the digital and see if the digital and the IBIS fight each other. Slow pan. And then we'll do the same at 18. So that is what I wanted to show you, just a quick video here. Let's go ahead and wrap this up and talk a little bit more about the R7 and this 10 to 18 lens. Alright, so that's pretty much what I wanted to show you. Hopefully my hand's not in any of these shots, I'm just holding it by the lens. How do you think this lens combo looks? Do you think it's something that you might purchase? This lens is fairly inexpensive. I don't know the current prices, but it's probably under a couple $100. I think it did pretty well. I think this might be my new vlogging setup when I go and travel. I can bring this, and I also got the 18 to 150 kit lens, which actually has turned out to be a pretty good lens. I did a video on that yesterday. I'll leave a link in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also consider subscribing if you like this type of content. I try to do these as often as I can. Turns out this weekend I was free, so we're getting to this weekend. Get out there and have your photo gear fun, and I will talk at you again in the next one.